Well, hello there, lovely patrons, and welcome to another brand new Patreon exclusive video that's available just to you guys, my wonderful Patreon supporters who just like me so darn much you give me your dollar papers. I appreciate that more than you know. You guys make my life a whole hell of a lot easier. So on Weekend Wankshop 240, I showed you guys that crazy kind of Van Halen Nuno Betancourt technique that utilizes just a few pick strokes and some hammer-ons and pull-offs out of nowhere to construct some blinding fast licks. In the original video, I used the A minor pentatonic scale, but as I outlined in that video, really any configuration of single note, two notes, single note going across three strings works great for this technique. And one thing I started messing with a couple of years ago whenever I stumbled into this is using this to play some really cool arpeggio shapes, which is what I'm going to show you guys how to do today. I'll also be putting up charts for all these arpeggio shapes we're talking about today to go along with the lesson, so it should be there on the Patreon page along with this episode. So the first shape we're going to take a look at here today is a major 7. Pretty fancy. What you're going to do here is to play the 8 on the high E string, that's your root note, C, and what you're going to do here is do your hammer-on pull-off from the 12 on the B string, pulling off to the 8 on the B. That's your root, 7th, and 5th intervallically. And then using your middle finger here, just play that 9 on the G. And what you end up with there is your root, 3rd, 5th, and 7th, which is what makes up your major 7 arpeggio. And like I said, that position is movable, so if you move this down here to the 5th position, starting from A, you get that A major 7 sound. If you're up here at 10, D major 7, whatever you need. Now the next thing I want to show you guys is how to do this with a dominant chord, or a 7 chord they're sometimes called. It's almost the exact same thing. Check this out. So our shape that we played for C major 7 was like this, right? And I said that that was root, 7, 5, 3, right? Well, basically a dominant chord shares a lot of those notes. It has the same root, 3rd, and 5th, but instead of being a 7, reaching up here to the 12th fret for the B note, a dominant 7 chord has a flattened 7th in it. So just basically take this note and move it down a half step here. So it's a little bit less of a stretch. Kind of feels like a familiar, almost minor pentatonic kind of feel on the top when you visualize it that way. So that's 8E, hammer on to 11B, pull off to 8B, and then your middle finger on the 9G. Again, that's a very like Nuno Betancourt sound. He loved using those dominant arpeggios. Okay, so for major 7, we had the big old stretch. For dominant 7, we made the stretch a little more accessible. And then basically to make this into a minor 7, there's one more modification that you can do. Okay, if you play 8 on the E, hammer on pull off 11 to 8 on the B, and then latch that first finger again on the 8th G string, that gives you the formula of root, flat 7, 5, and flat 3rd. Again, that dominant had a regular 3rd, making a flat 3rd instead. This is a little tricky because you got to do a little extra roll with the first finger, like that. It's a little tricky, but it's doable after a while. That one is gonna have a little bit of ring to it, you know? It's really hard to keep all those notes super clean when you got 3 strings on the same fret under the first finger. So I pretty much always use a little bit of palm muting whenever I'm playing that minor 7 shape. Thanks again so much for watching and being my lovely, wonderful patrons. You guys are better than I deserve. Expect some more exclusive content coming up real soon. Thanks as always, I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.